That's right. Subscribe to the best football show with me, Brian Baldinger, almost daily here throughout the football season. And make no mistake about it, the football season is here. This is being taped right now on Tuesday morning. I'm leaving to go to Brazil later early this evening, straight to Rio. Looking forward to Friday night in Sao Paulo with the Eagles and the Packers. But we've got news. Oh, by the way, you can find this on your free Odyssey app. Download it, like it, subscribe to it. I think you'll have a lot of interesting information delivered to you from me just daily, just by what I see from the film room, and what I see from being at the games every weekend, and the players and the coaches that I talk to. You can find me at Baldy NFL. You can subscribe to all of that on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and all that stuff. You can find me at baldysbreakdowns.com. You can order all your merchandise. Anyways, this is not about advertising my stuff. This is about what's coming up and what we all as football fans get to look forward to. And that is San Francisco just got their all-world left tackle, Trent Williams, in the building. His deal isn't signed, but he didn't leave a private jet with his dog and come to San Francisco yesterday to come in the building if he wasn't close to getting something done. The good thing is the Jets don't play till Monday night. Trent Williams, I think, will get this deal done at some point today or tomorrow. He'll be the starting left tackle Monday night against the Jets and Jermaine Johnson and everybody else they put out there. It's important because without Trent Williams in the lineup for the 49ers, they are 4-10 without him. Last year, they were a 17-point offense when he wasn't on the field. And Christian McCaffrey struggled to get 4 yards a carry without Trent Williams. He's just that much of a difference maker. And then, you want your horses. Brandon Ayuk got the deal done last week. Trent Williams now. You want your horses. You just want to go to battle with your horses. You want to stand inside somebody else's tunnel. You want to come out with your leaders. You're led by your stars. Your stars win games. This is what this whole thing is about. Coaching matters. It's good to have great depth. Not everybody can be a star, but the stars win games. Trent Williams helps you win games. He's just that much of a difference maker. I break him down all the time on Baldy's Breakdowns. I've said this many times. Christian McCaffrey can start his run to the right. Chances are, if it's a good run, it breaks back behind Trent Williams to the left or over the middle. So they're good to horses back. Look, 49ers have a stacked roster. They're an elite organization. They've been to 2 Super Bowls, 3 NFC Championship games, in the last 5 years. They haven't broken through yet. They've gotten close, losing overtime last year to the Chiefs. They're close. It's a good team. It's a really good team. I think everybody will be. And look, every team is led by their leaders. The biggest leader in the entire 49er organization is Trent Williams. He's the elder statesman. He's their best player. He steps into the huddle. They feel like they're going to have a chance for success. He's just, I break it down. His pregame warmup has been the same. I've watched him since he was a rookie in 2011 coming out of Oklahoma. When he steps onto the field game day and he goes through his mental gymnastics and his sets, and you see those feet and the hands working, you're like, not many guys look like that in this league. Just warming up, they don't look like that. So that's the 49ers. That sets the table for the start of the season. And I just got to take hats off to these schedule makers in the NFL. Like, they work really hard on this every single year. But to start, and we always sort of try to guess who's going to be the opening game, NBC on Thursday night, Kansas City, Baltimore. I was in Baltimore 7 months ago for the AFC Championship game. There was the CBS pregame crew. There was Boomer Esiason and Phil Simms and Nate Burleson. And, they were all there. The hype was big. And to see the Chiefs go down and score like they did, to see the touchdown throw, the opening touchdown of the game from Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce, 19-yard touchdown to go up 7-0, to see Kyle Hamilton cover Travis Kelce as close as you can cover somebody and still get a touchdown catch out of it. It's just, says a lot about the greatness of Mahomes and Kelsey. That is not going to change. But what is going to change in this game is there's a lot of changes in Baltimore. 3 starters in the offensive line. The defensive coordinator is the head coach in Seattle. Zach Orr steps in as the defense coordinator. Mike McDonald takes a bunch of the position coaches with him. They lose Jadeveon Clowney. They lose, unfortunately, Joe D'Alessandris, their offensive line coach, passed away a couple weeks ago. I mean, look, they got to replace 3 offensive linemen. Joe D'Alessandris, man, I'm close to these offensive line coaches. Like, I know how hard they work. But it's more than just getting through practice and developing, rookie linemen and all that. That's part of the job. The bigger part of the job is what happens game day when Steve Spagnuolo is blitzing and he's giving you different looks. And can you get your protections on point to handle the blitzes? Joe did that. And so George Warhop stepped in. George is an old-time offensive line coach, very qualified, but he's new to the organization. He's new to these players. George has big shoes to fill. Anyways, and somehow Kansas City just wins back-to-back championships, and they don't lose any coaches. Steve Spagnuolo is still coaching the defense, and Andy Heck is still coaching the offensive line, and Dave Taub is still the special teams coach, and Andy's still calling plays. It's just stability. Now, they had a tumultuous offseason and got players getting arrested, and they had that ugly incident at the parade. But since they went to training camp in St. Joseph's, Missouri, you almost haven't heard a single peep from the Chiefs. It's been quiet. It's been calm. Nobody's out there mugging for the camera for, 3 peats. Man, it is focused. And they have added Xavier Worthy, their first round pick at receiver. And I'm telling you, this guy is more than just the fastest player to ever come through the combine. He's far more than that. Like, he is a router. He is speed. You give Andy Reid T.O. in 2004. You give him Tyreek Hill when he first comes to the Chiefs. You give him and we'll see when Hollywood Brown comes back and if he's going to be ready for this weekend. But you give him Xavier Worthy. Like, if you don't put a cloud over the top of him, that means a safety to sort of making sure that he can't just run by the corner. If you don't do that, Patrick Mahomes is going to air it out. It's going to open up things in the run game. Like, I just think they return 4 starters in the offensive line. They got a rookie left tackle. I think he's better than anybody they've lined up there over the last 3 years. Last year at this time, Chris Jones wasn't in the lineup. They got beat by Detroit. The guy changes the games. Travis Kelce was in the lineup. The Thursday Night Football against Detroit last year. He had a banged up knee. They got their horses there, and they're coaching. So I feel like Kansas City has – and look, Lamar Jackson, we haven't mentioned him. He's the MVP of the league. He's the difference maker. If Lamar plays at an ungodly level of MVP level, I mean, Baltimore can win this game because he's just that talented. He's just that good. And he's just that hard to defend. And it's just that much more fun to see Lamar and Mahomes in this game. They got that one right. I'll be in Brazil on Friday night in São Paulo. I'll just say this. These are 2 playoff teams in my mind. I'd be shocked if neither one of them aren't in the playoffs this year. I don't know how they're going to start on Friday night. I know this. I've been to Brazil enough times for World Cup soccer, for Pro Beach Volleyball Championships, for Carnival, for different reasons. One thing I know about Brazil, they know how to throw a party. And it's going to be a party in that stadium. They don't really know what's going on. There'll be some, NFL fans there. The players don't seem terribly excited about going to Brazil. I understand it. There's safety concerns. Don't leave your hotel, this and that. They don't want any things happening out there, in a city that's maybe 20 million people and got a lot of violence out there in the streets. They want the players to be safe. So I think the players will adhere to the policies. But when you get to the game on Friday, and the game kicks off there at around 9 o'clock. They're an hour ahead of East Coast time. I'll be doing the pregame show on the field for the NFL Network. I'll be down there with Jane Slater, talking about the game. One of the things I know I'm going to talk about is the field. These soccer fields aren't NFL fields. Maybe the NFL has got a new pitch, but typically they're made for soccer. The grass is thin. You can slide. Footing is not great. That's typically how it is. We'll see. It should be cool. It's not going to be summer heat or anything like that. It's the winter down there. It's going to be cool on Friday night. Probably, I'm guessing, in the 50s. Not cold, but cool. Nobody's played 4 quarters. In fact, nobody on the Eagles and Packers really of starter worth played in the preseason. I saw Rashawn Gary and Kenny Clark for a couple of plays in Green Bay, but I saw Jalen Carter for a couple of plays in Philly. But most of these players haven't played in preseason. So is conditioning a factor? 2 new defensive coordinators, Vic Fangio on one side, Jeff Hafley for the Green Bay Packers. Completely different styles of defenses than what we saw last year. I think Green Bay is going to be a lot more aggressive. They're going to be a 4-man front. They're going to press the wide receivers on the outside with Jair Alexander and Stokes and Keyshawn Nixon. There was a reason why they went and signed Xavier McKinney in free agency. He is an excellent safety, a playmaker safety. They like to rob the middle of the field. We'll see what Kellen Moore has, and if this offense has answers to the blitzes that are going to come, to some of the things that Green Bay will do. They didn't have an answer in their collapse last year, but I think Kellen Moore can do that. Something to look forward to. Should be a lot of fun in a rowdy atmosphere. Then you get to Sunday night, the Rams in Detroit. That playoff game, wild card weekend, was 24-23. Detroit. It was a nail biter. I mean, there's Stafford late third quarter, Stafford fourth quarter, inside the 15-yard line. You know, can't score a touchdown. Held to 2 field goals. Game's 24-17, chance to tie it up twice. They kick 2 field goals, they lose by a point. This is going to be a great game. These are 2 excellent rosters, 2 playoff teams. The Rams have rebuilt their defensive front with a lot of young players. I mean, Kobe Turner was a rookie last year, 3rd-round pick out of Wake Forest. For crying out loud, the guy's a captain this year. They learned. Byron Young, Kobe Turner, these guys learned a lot from Aaron Donald. How to take care of themselves, how to prepare, what practice should be like. These could be 2 well-coached teams. It should be a great game. It should be loud as hell in Detroit. Detroit has a stacked roster. Look for Jameson Williams. You know, they're young. I mean, he's in his 3rd year, but he's had a complete healthy offseason, no suspension. Add that to Amon-Ra St. Brown and David Montgomery and what Jahmyr Gibbs did. And I mean, they're loaded. You know, they've added pieces on defense. Aiden Hutchinson was a dominant player in that wild card weekend win for Detroit. Dominant. So the Rams have had a lot of problems. Their offense line all summer long. Trying to keep guys healthy. Rob Havenstein. Like, is Steve Avila the left guard? Is he the center? They've had a lot of injuries, a lot of issues there. But it should be a fantastic, matchup. And then you get to Monday night. We talked about Trent Williams coming into San Francisco. Hats off again to the schedule makers. In years past, we had 2 games on Monday night. You had an early start and a late start. Well, now with Jets and 49ers, now with Aaron Rodgers on the field, they're not diluting this broadcast. They want as big an audience as they may get all year for Joe Buck and Troy Aikman at Levi Stadium for this matchup. There's a reason why the Jets are in San Francisco against what everybody feels like is another great team in San Francisco. Aaron Rodgers one side, Brock Purdy. Robert Saleh, former 49ers defensive line coach, defense coordinator against Kyle Shanahan. I mean, there's just matchups everywhere. Trent Williams against Jermaine Johnson. Like, there's just matchups everywhere that you have to, pay attention to. But make no mistake about it. This Aaron Rodgers, he feels like he's got to make up for what happened last year. And the fact that they got him on the field for 4 plays. This is as smart a player as there is in the NFL. And if he catches you napping, if he catches you, in a position switch, a defense alignment, quick snap. He catches you out of position, quick snap. The relationship he has with Garrett Wilson now 2 years in this offense is elite. I think we have, honestly, the 2 best running backs in football, in Christian McCaffrey and Breece Hall going at it. On every level, this should be a great matchup. Now, the Jets didn't play anybody in preseason. Aaron didn't play. 49ers played Brock a little bit. They got a little bit of time. But, Ayuk is in there now, and, Trent's in there. And They got a rookie right guard in Dominic Pooney. The Jets have a very talented offense line, and they're healthy. Went through training camp together, went out there to a bunch of practices, saw some scrimmages. Tyron Smith, Morgan Moses, John Simpson. This is a good group. Joe Tippmann at center, Ali Vera Tucker at right guard. This is a talented group. Should be a great game. Great matchups. And by the way, I'm getting from Sao Paulo to Indianapolis for the Colts and the Houston Texans. Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud. It's going to be awesome. I mean, and I'm not shortchanging any other matchups because I think Chargers Raiders is going to be fun. I think Giants go to Minnesota is going to be fun. I could go on and on and on. But the schedule makers got these primetime games won. They got them right. We got the matchups that we all want to see. It's going to be fun. I think we're going to enjoy this. Enjoy it, everybody. I know I am. I hope I get out of Brazil on time and get to Indianapolis. That's on the airlines right here. Either way, look forward to talking to you either later in the week from Brazil. If we get some good Wi-Fi, I don't know what's going to happen. I'll give you the update. Looking forward to my flight to Rio de Janeiro tonight. I'll check in with you all real soon. Enjoy these national games. It's going to be a great kickoff weekend.